Hello and welcome to... Oh god, it's been 3 months since we first did a stream about Breath of the Wild setting, and only just now are we going back to it. Things happened. I am your host, Alex. I cannot draw. And with me, we've got Atwas.
Sup?
And we've got Juno.
Hello.
Welcome to this. This is going to be a pretty chill stream. Once again, we're going back into the Breath of the Wild style campaign setting for D&D that I've been working on for a little bit. Time and or artists getting tired permitting, we'll switch over to different software, Incarnate, which is mapping software I can actually use. But for right now, since we've actually got people, I figured, why not have them do something other than sit and watch me stare at a computer and figure out what the fuck am I supposed to do to translate drawing into actual map? Now, for those of you who have forgotten, since it's been 3 months, I'm going to put images up on stream as to some of the stuff we did the last time around. First time around for Breath of the Wild campaign, first we made the actual world map, divided it into sections. You can see the sloppy black and blue lines that are very clearly drawn by someone using a mouse. That's me, that's what I contributed. Then the actual artwork is representations of what in those various regions is in there. We've got Angry Shrek, we've got Snake Hitler, I'm pretty sure that's Raphael. Yep. Then, we don't talk about the thing on the left. We just try to ignore him and he goes away.
You'll never get rid of me. Give me your banana.
Time to get rid of him. We also designed the big bads of the setting. There they are. I would say they're good boys, but they are very, very clearly not. One of them goes by the Mad King, and generally anyone who goes by the epithet the Mad King probably is not a good boy. Then we've got Stronk Dragon behind him. Behind Dragon are Succubus and Fallen Angel, and ahead of them is the Earth Ganassi Assassin, who's also probably not a good boy. And then... Probably not. And then with the map designed, we started getting into drawing one of the actual towns. This is the one that we decided was built on the ruins of, for all intents and purposes, a giant mech. And it is gorgeous. Look at it. Look at it. It's so good.
Ask.
It looks so beautiful.
Bask in the glory.
Excellent. Basking.
Yeah.
Basking.
Yeah, continue basking. I will let you know when you can stop. And the answer is probably never.
Oh god,
Never
there's so
stop
much
basking.
glory. I'm gonna overdose.
This is a stream now. We only get to bask at this now.
Yeah, we're just gonna be in silence since I'm not gonna play YouTube playlists with Fredboat because of the walkout. We're just gonna sit here and stare at this in utter silence. Basking!
We gotta bask.
We gotta, though. Alright, basking over.
No more basking. We gotta
No more basking. So, continuing on from basking in the glory of other cities, I've brought up the first image because, hey chat, there are a bunch of other cities and or settlements around this continent that I would love to talk about in more detail, and we can draw. Well, I can't draw. Juno and Atwas can because they have actual art skill. Yay!
I forgot I put Elsa at the top left.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. There's an Elsa. Alright. So, the settlement we've detailed is in the Hateno Village sector, where appropriately the Giant Mech and Hateno Village label are. Other cities to detail, down south there is, I believe we decided that one was made out of shipwrecks and is populated by merfolk. There's the Dwarf Fortress in the middle of the desert because dwarves need to be somewhere that isn't the mountains, guys. Show some variety of dwarves, come on. we've got the Yuan-Ti Snittler base in the jungle. There is Bad Guy Castle up there in the center. That's definitely not just Hyrule Castle, but definitely is because this is the Breath of the Wild setting.
It's not Hyrule Castle because Hyrule Castle is owned by the good guys. The bad guys own this one.
You don't tell.
Yeah, obviously. Then there is Human Person City, which is, since that's closer to the cold as shit biome, I decided that would be on vaguely snowy plateaus and stuff. Speaking of cold as shit biome, there are technically 2 cities there. I don't think the Drow would have like anything super sprawling, but there would be like Aarakocra, Snowy Owl making cities on a mountain. That's oh god, that's the Reno Village. Oh shit.
They're
Yeah.
perfectly adapted, okay?
Perfectly adapted, as all things should be. And then in the swamp with Shrek and the Swole Lizard Man, the lizard folk have a city there, and designing like city floating on swamp water could be pretty rad.
Fantasy New Orleans.
Fantasy New Orleans. All right, Cheese Gal. Hello. What are we doing? Are we making a theme park? Cheese Gal. The stream's titled "Let's Build a Campaign Setting." I mean, I can kind of see where theme park is because it's divided up that way, but the stream's called "Let's Build a Campaign Setting." Jeez,
Let's go to Snitterland and ride the Snittler coaster.
Oh boy, I can't wait to buy some Snittler ears and go shake hands and get Snittler's autograph.
Well, we gotta go through the entire park to get all of the autographs from Shrek and Bowser, Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
But just Raphael, not any of the other turtles.
Just Raphael. No. And Timmy Turner.
Timmy Turner, Elsa.
Oh,
Of
absolutely.
course, we gotta get Elsa. We gotta get Elsa.
Yeah. Man Centaur.
But most importantly, Snittler.
Most importantly, Snittler. I mean, everyone knows the real money's in Snittler.
Invest. Buy.
Invest in Snittler.
Stonks.
Stonks.
Sorry. Stonks.
Stonks. All right. So I'm scrolling through to see what people are interested in. I'm going to show them this amazing thing eventually, but for right now, quote-unquote votes are for Snakeland, Lizardland, Iceland, Shipwreck,
Maybe just run like a couple or something.
Yeah, straw poll would probably help.
Yeah. Snittler is IR's newest mascot. I don't think we'd feel very comfortable with a fascist snake being our mascot.
Yeah, let's not. Let's absolutely not do that.
Let's maybe not have the Hitler snake as our mascot.
Mm-hmm. Chaos God is not a place, Kyle.
So we're getting that straw poll set up?
Yeah, just give me a second.
Awesome.
Okay. Does this continent have a name yet? Yes, it does. Sideria. I can type it out in the chat, and it's going to take you like 30 seconds to catch up. Heck yeah.
I might have missed something. I was trying to get it done fast. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair. I think that's mostly the stuff I listed, because, like, I don't think Jurassic Park with giant dinosaurs and turtles landstriders is what most people are interested in. We can go see Raphael later.
We could see Raphael. We could meet Raphael and get his autograph later. And then we'll get some, and then we can buy some souvenir pins from Snittler.
Yep. You can collect them all and turn them in for a $6.99 Snittler plushie. It's tiny.
$6.99 Snittler plushie.
Wow, we have 30 votes in. Right now, Birdland is winning by 1.
Wow.
Oh, look at that, Birdland's winning.
Yeah, Birdland's doing pretty good.
I can't believe we got to draw Charlie Parker now.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
Ah, fuck.
For those of you who are not jazz aficionados, Charlie Parker was a jazz musician who was also known as Bird.
Alright, I'm not seeing any more votes come in.
Cool. So, looks like ahead of everything by 1 vote, Birdland, followed by Bad Town, followed by Lizards if we get there.
Lizards if we get there.
Mm-hmm. Lizards beating out Snittler. I never would have guessed.
Yeah.
We like our reptiles with legs, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. All right. There's the Snittler coaster. All the kids love it.
Fun for baby.
Great for baby.
Okay.
All right. So we may not be able to play you. Well, we are able to play YouTube playlists with Fredboat, but let's not. Instead, I'm going to be playing SoundCloud directly through my computer. So good luck with that, chat.
It'll be fine. They'll do
It's
great.
fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Or we could just sing da 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 da. No.
Angry piano.
Angry piano. Yeah, just 3 hours of the relaxing lo-fi Guardian theme from Breath of the Wild.
Consider relaxing lo-fi sonic drowning.
Listen to the smooth sounds of running out of air. Meditate on your asphyxiation. We are doing Bird Town first. Bird Town, I made a couple of notes on towns once we just came up with ideas for them in the first stream. The northwestern side of Sideria is a cold and unforgiving tundra. Sure, there's like volcanoes and stuff below ground, but the drow mostly have control over that. So the Aarakocra evolved to basically not be bothered by the cold. In fact, they built their cities high up in the mountaintops where a lot of predators could not reach. I also put in a secondary population of Dragonborn because I realized I think we had those on the list of races, but nowhere to put them. So like, fuck it, Dragonborn hang out with the Aarakocra. It's fine.
Ooh. Oh, holy shit. Okay, so what about like Aarakocra living in like sort of like cliff nesting type things, but instead of like maybe cliffs or mountains, they're like kind of like glacier crevasses or whatever, because the ice never melts because it's so cold. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a pretty neat.
And also because cliff dwelling buildings are fucking rad.
Yeah. Like I know I think Kirsabal in Tomb of Annihilation, the other big Aarakocra settlement for 5th edition at least, not too familiar with any outside of that. That is built cliffside, basically, so just transporting that, making it cold, should make total sense for a race of birds.
Trying to get a sense of owl people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that far north it would be snowy owl people rather than the eagle people that Aarakocra usually are.
Oh my god, they're gonna be so fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be so
much
good.
fluff.
How would the Aarakocra and the Dragonborn react with each other? Given that the Dragonborn are a secondary population, one would assume they are not at open war. And given what Aarakocra and Dragonborn usually are, pun fully intended now that I think about it, they're pretty chill. Because, like, Dragonborn do not have racial stereotypes. They view only the individual when considering how to interact with people. Like, they're not going to say, oh, all Aarakocra are hippies, or oh, all dwarves are Scottish. They're going to be like, this Aarakocra is a hippie. This dwarf is Scottish. And, like... And then the Aarakocra would see a bunch of Dragonborn are like, they're pretty obsessed with honor, but they do fine up here. They're a solid defense force that we can't really match or muster. Sure. You want us to help you build some platforms because living on cliffs isn't the greatest for you? Cool, rad.
Move these two over here.
All right.
There's more room
for actual
place.
cliff.
For real cliffs. Looking pretty good, Atwas.
Yeah, it's looking real nice.
Thank you. There probably wouldn't be too much foliage up here, so I feel like a lot of it would maybe be carved out of the ice and rock, because it'd be kind of a pain in the ass to drag timber all the way up if you were...
Yeah.
All right, let's just tie this tree to like 10 Aarakocra. Hoist it up here.
Flap.
Great, that's the plank. Would there be a huge fire tower in the middle of the city as Dragonborn prefer living in warmer environments? Not White Dragonborn. White Dragonborn would love this. Because white dragons are the ones that live in ice environments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And silver ones.
And silver ones. Mines, lots of mines if they are on a cliff. One would assume that there is some mining to be had. Like, I made some tables for when this eventually becomes a campaign, and considered how easy it would be in each environment to find food, water, wood, and metal. And I think for the tundra, metal is pretty easy to find. But mostly the Aarakocra don't do a whole lot of mining. They leave that to people with stronger constitutions. See also the Dragonborn. And also a lot of the mining across Sideria, period, is in the deserts to the southwest, which is the dwarves, because, I mean, they're dwarves.
Wow, I thought we were doing away with dwarvish stereotype.
That's the Dragonborn's philosophy.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. No, the Dragonborn will not stereotype you. We, on the other hand, are humans and can stereotype all we want.
That's why the 1960s happened. What?
Are there only white and silver Dragonborns, or have others made their way up? I'd say it's not unfeasible for other Dragonborn to live here. They wouldn't be, the most comfortable. But yeah, if that's Dragonborn territory, other Dragonborn are going to be like, cool, this is safe. I can go up here, I can trade and stuff.
Ooh, maybe, like, fire dragon folk wouldn't have too hard of a time since they can generate their own internal heat-ish.
Yeah. So, like, red, brass, and gold Dragonborn probably also around here.
Dragons that can either stand the cold or generate their own heat.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm seeing a lot of questions about the economy. Generally speaking, the economy of Sideria, the continent proper, is built around trade. Because the cities obviously specialize in a couple of different items, like, obviously the Turtles and the Merfolk have got the market cornered on fishing. Dwarves have the greatest supply of iron and other various metals. Because the snowy environment, I remember in Breath of the Wild, had a lot of excellent hunting, I would say the Aarakocra, like, hunt for meat and stuff and trade that out.
We're going caribou hunting tonight, boys!
Yeah, that would be cool, because, like, in places that are isolated, like, I presume mountains would be, there's that phenomenon where animals can grow to be much larger than they would in other places.
Oh, yeah.
Big meat! Wait,
Yeah, Glacier Town is home to mammoths and stuff.
hell yeah.
Gotta get that mammoth meat.
Oh Oh, you said mammoth.
Instead of wood, if wood is like more uncommon, fucking buildings that use mammoth tusks and bones as kind of a way to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, furs. That's also a good one. They sell poofy clothing and furs and basically heavily padded stuff, so people who are not adapted to the snowy environment can live there and trade with them.
Mammoth, actual size.
Actual size mammoth. Because also from Breath of the Wild, everyone who sells the outfits you need to actually go into the cities and environments and stuff will either hurriedly say, "Yeah, you're gonna need this. Hold on, let me help you out there," or be like the Goron in Goron City and be like, "What the fuck? How are you alive?" If you're like half the people who went to Goron City and just rush there shoving food down your face to avoid being set on fire.
Shoutouts to Terminal Montage.
Yep. I mean, because I saw that before I went to Goron City, I knew drink the elixir, and I ran in there and got the thing with like 30 seconds to spare.
God.
Christ.
Yeah, I was the equivalent of parkour or like as the crow flies. So I'm like, fuck taking a road. I'm just gonna go straight there.
Awesome.
It went great. It's fine.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, there were guardians on that road.
There were! Yeah, by the time I got there, I wasn't actively seeking out the shrine, so I wasn't min-maxed out, and I think the only thing I had was Mipha's Grace.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I think Va Rudania was the second divine beast that I conquered.
Yeah.
And only having Mipha's Grace was
So if we're basing this on a real-life culture, I'm going to stop you there, Phoenix. We're not, because I don't feel that I could either accurately do that or comfortably do that. Like, if people associate, the dwarves are Scottish, that's one thing because of the accents, but if you go and try to base an entire culture around Scottish people, when I myself know little to nothing about that culture, that's going to lead to problems.
Yeah, we can't just do research right now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, dwarves with Russian accents are superior. Fight me.
Fun fact, there are dwarves with Russian accents in the Ten Realms campaign setting that includes Breath of the Wild and Fallen Empires.
Excellent! I mean, it just makes sense.
Right? Speaking of dwarves, I'd say, like, even though they live in the desert, they're probably pretty frequent traders in Arakocra territory, if only because I'd say they're not just used to really hot temperatures, they're used to extreme temperatures. They are a sturdy, hardy people who are like, if my body's not being challenged, I'm bored as hell.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking back as to the rest of my Breath of the Wild experience. I think I went for this area and Rivali's Gale last, actually. Which was a huge mistake. Because, like, even without shitloads of health and stamina, Rivali and, the bird divine beast were probably the easiest for me. Vamedo. Like, I was gonna say Varuda, but I'm like, no, that's the elephant. That's Mipha.
Yeah. Ruto is based off. Ruto is named after Ruta. Meadow is named after Medley.
Mm-hmm. Rudania is Darunia, and Naboris is Naburu. I remember that. I just could not, for the life of me, remember Medley.
I think most of those other ones were from like Ocarina of Time, where Medley's from Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Not part of Ocarina of Time.
Right. Like, you can clearly see parallels to the champions in Breath of the Wild, to the Ocarina of Time sages, except for Rivali, who is just Falco.
It was just Falco.
Maybe there could be hot springs people could visit for tourist reasons, that and fresh water. Water's pretty easy to find on a glacier. Like, just start up a campfire. Hey, look, there's water!
You are on water.
You are on water.
And that's how they hunt.
Mm-hmm. Dunk! Drop things. You're not wrong, because if they can fly and they have ranged weaponry and or rocks, what animal is going to stop them? Yeah. R.I.P. to the Switchless and Wii U-less youths, yes.
Pterodactyls, that's what...
Pterodactyls! As for hot springs, given that they are technically on volcanoes because we otherwise didn't have a lava area and Hailfire Peaks is awesome, given that they're on thermal vents, there probably are hot springs, but given that those are close to drow territory, have fun? You're not gonna have fun. They're the drow. They're evil bastards.
Extreme hot springs sauna spa day.
Extreme with 3 X's.
Extreme radical.
Relax in the hot spring and run from drow. Fun for the whole family.
Yeah, fun for the whole family. Leave the kids behind. They'll get tortured, but you won't. It's okay, they're slow.
They're slow. Christ.
Yeah. Churrobird brings up a good point. Chat, are you asking for a Hot Springs episode before this is even a campaign?
I mean, I'm not gonna say from asking, I mean.
Yeah. Finally a hot spring, says an Eric Aqua guide. Finally I can get undressed. Takes off scarf. I'm good.
Good.
Hey, the guy in the bottom left has a shirt on.
Yeah, he's got a shirt. He's fine.
He's probably an accountant or something. Because he's not going to be flying very well on that thing.
Nope. Yeah. Like, mechanics-wise, if Eric Aqua wear anything heavier than padded leather armor, they cannot fly, so... Alright. This is looking really nice.
It's a kiwi.
It's a kiwi. He's trying his best.
He's trying his best. He's got the big sword.
Oh my god.
Paladin.
I thought of the most terrifying thing. Ostrich Arakocra.
Ostrich Arakocra.
Oh my god!
No, I can do you
What
one
have you
better.
done?
I can do you one better.
Okay.
Cassowary Arakocra.
Oh my
Get it
god!
back.
Why would you do this?
So if any of you want to play the chaotic evil Arakocra, there's your idea.
There's your idea. Work with your DM to substitute flight for fear. I'm reminded of there's a wild animal park in North Texas where I used to go a lot when I was a kid, where mostly you would drive through and feed old retired animals who are like not going to be at the zoo anymore but have a lot more room to run free. A lot of them are pretty chill, like llamas, several species of deer. The highlight is the giraffes, because the giraffes love people. But the giraffes are right next to the ostriches, who do not. Now that I think about it, that may have been the Wild Animal Park's way of getting people to move on from the giraffes, because if you stay too long, the ostriches will find you.
The ostriches will find you, and they will end you.
God. Yeah, there's one of those kind of like drive-through safari places out where I used to live. Those fucking ostriches and emus, dude. They were savages. They'd see those buckets full of the animal feed, they'd walk right over, and they had a system figured out. They'd scope out the smallest kid, and then they would peck the bottom of the bucket as hard as they could to get them to drop it so they'd get a free meal. Sad kid, happy ostrich.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I think this is looking pretty good for our first little town drawn here.
Yeah.
All right.
We got the people, we got the town itself. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got the
Thank you,
save?
print screen.
I got the save.
Thank you.
I got the save. Okay. I'm gonna put that somewhere. Just put that there. Yeah. Upload, dang it.
Upload,
man.
damn you.
You know what else would be cool?
What?
Hummingbird Aarakocra.
Hummingbird
anything
Aarakocra
and they-
would be nice.
They wear anything or they hold anything and they just fall to the ground.
Aww.
I actually have like a PDF I got from DM's Guild that helped me determine various subraces of Aarakocra across the 10 realms. You've got the eagle Aarakocra, obviously. I'll pull it up on the other computer so I don't tank this one by trying to load a PDF, because OBS doesn't like it when I load anything new. There we go. Alright, I think the subraces of the Aarakocra in the 10 realms were the eagles, the owls, blue jays, magpies, and secretary birds.
Nice.
Nice.
Hey,
Alright.
where were we next? Was it lizard people? Or
It was Bad Town.
Bad Town. Did someone say bad?
Da-da-da-da. Alright. Bad Town. The castle in the middle of Sideria has traditionally been ruled over by whoever kicked the ass of the old king there. It is built on hillsides so that it can metaphorically look over all the rest of the kingdoms, and currently, outside of the castle itself, it's populated by a hired hobgoblin army and some gnoll raiders for when the hobgoblins are like, I have some reservations about what I'm about to do, and then they send in the crazy-ass hyena people instead.
Oh, so here's a question. Who would have been the people to actually build the first castle?
Probably it would have been elves.
Okay.
Because elves built a lot of old Sideria. And they just have a bad habit of being ousted from wherever they happen to live. Because, like...
Our city now.
Yeah, our city now. Because that happened with the Yuan Ti and Snitla.
Jungle now! Those for like the castle town and stuff. Would you say it's more like decrepit and like full of crime and stuff?
I would say no, it is actually not. The good thing about having hobgoblins as the main population, they are brutal and militaristic, and they make a terrifyingly efficient military police force.
So it's it's a military state. Okay.
Yep. Like, the Mad King isn't gonna care about micromanaging the other cities. However they choose to run law and order, that's fine. You come to his domain, and you start acting up, you're gonna get a bunch of hobgoblins ready to beat your shit in.
I can't believe we have both Snitler and Gobletler.
Gobletler! Would there be ruins of old buildings? Any remains of the old order? The elves are not extinct. There are plenty of elves in Sideria in various pockets of population. And there are definitely ruins because, I mean, you gotta have ruins if you're doing a Breath of the Wild style campaign setting.
Come on.
Yeah. In evil bad guy Castletown proper, yeah, because there were a lot in Breath of the Wild. Ragnar Stengo saying, I'm depicting an imaginary bad town, not the one you're talking about here. Some kind of rogue city inhabited by thugs and stuff, like the City of Thieves from Adventure Time. I'll say that, unlike Aarakocra Town, gnolls and hobgoblins do not get along, so there's, like, probably also literal lines in the sand saying, this is our place, this is your place. And the gnolls would definitely run a City of Thieves.
I swear I did research on how to draw a hyena once.
Once upon a time.
Just once.
No, I don't want the Spider-Man villain.
No, not that guy. D&D hobgoblins. I think they'd have the most advanced military technology of all the world, hence they would be able to keep control. I did some thinking about this, actually. Like, about how the mechs and stuff in the mech city tie into the Ten Realms as a whole. In the D&D cosmology, like, planes outside of the prime material plane of reality, one of them is called Mechanus. Mechanus is, the personification of lawful neutral, and it is basically one giant clockwork mechanical universe. So, what I was picturing is that bits of Mechanus fall into Sideria a lot. Like, some of it gets abandoned and disused. Other bits of it would be the equivalent of, like, the Guardian technology, the Divine Beasts, the ancient weaponry. So probably the evil bad town would be sitting on a whole lot of it.
Ma, it's raining robots again!
Mm-hmm. Get a bucket! We're gonna get some of them robots this time! Alright. So, I'm once more thinking back to my experiences with Breath of the Wild, because I can't help but do that in Breath of the Wild campaign art-based stuff. Naturally, I went straight to the Hyrule Castle Central Tower, because I thought, hey, that's the closest thing, I should be fine.
Were you fine?
A good quarter of my deaths throughout all of Breath of the Wild were there. Another quarter were to that fucking Lionel in Zora's domain. The rest were more evenly spread out. Like, I had some trouble with Death Mountain, but like that was more evenly spread out around Death Mountain rather than just a constant stream of over and over, being lasered to death. That Lionel sucked. Yes, he did. I had the full fucking stealth armor, and he still saw me, the little bastard. That cheating motherfucking bastard.
Little.
They're just trying to get you to learn the game mechanics, man.
This game mechanic is perish.
I mean, basically.
Mm.
Yeah. Lionels are basically fight or die.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man! Don't you know how to get on the back of a Lionel and like kill it from there?
Yeah. Hey, you! You like your sneaky and archery-based playstyle, right? Yeah? Your melee is passable to fight bosses, right? I guess, though I haven't fought one yet. Here's a Lionel!
How fun!
Good luck having enough shock and bomb arrows to beat that guy.
That's the thing, I couldn't, because that was the mission where you had to get the shock arrows!
Yeah, that was. You know, the Master Cycle in Breath of the Wild was so worth it. It's so amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Though now that I think about it, friendship ended with Sidon. Tiba is now my best friend. He just gives you the arrows.
Oh yeah, what a guy.
Yeah. This place would totally have a boss rush, whether you're ready for one or not. Yeah, in true Breath of the Wild style, you can go straight for this place, and then get your ass stomped in.
That's the end of the campaign. See you for next time.
Start rolling a new character sheet, kids.
You didn't warn us. The big bad of the campaign and his lieutenants, a black dragon, a highly trained assassin, a succubus demon princess, and a fallen angel were not enough to tell you, hey, maybe don't fight this at level 2.
Players, man.
Players, man.
Player.
Would there be a mote of acid? I say mote of acid because there's a black dragon. Black dragon would prefer acid to lava. I'd say no, because other people need to get in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And plus, since this is on a hillside, it would all just probably tumble down to everyone else and be like, shit, there goes the moat. And my army. Fuck.
There goes the castle. Eventually, all that acid's going to eat away at the ground.
Mm-hmm.
If you fill the ground with acid, you're not going to have ground for very much longer.
Not really, no. Even if it was lava, like, lava's not native to this particular part of Sideria, so... And even though he is the Mad King, I don't think he or his predecessors would have been like, alright, priority! All of you guys, here's some buckets! Go over to the Drow's place, start scooping lava, carry it all the way back here!
Oh my god. It would have all cooled by then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have a Knoll question. Are Knolls batshit insane and, like, don't really have proper thinking skills like they do in Forgotten Realms? Or are they, like, actually kind of have a bit of a society going on?
I generally try to portray Knoll society with some variations based on, like, Mad Max, or, like, specifically the War Boys from Fury Road.
Okay, awesome, because mindless Knolls that are just controlled by Yunogu is... I don't know, man, it gets old.
Boring.
Yeah. There's so much more you can do with crazy-ass hyena men.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Out of these friends, which ones are you? Truck. Drug. The fighter.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, like, I did plan to make the War Boys connection incredibly obvious and have one Knoll that was a bard with a flamethrower guitar, but I don't remember where I was going to put him in the 10 realms.
Ah, darn. That would be cool.
Roaming.
Roman.
Random encounter table.
Yeah. He has traveled across the deadly seas to play guitar at you.
The most dangerous punk rocker of all time.
Mm-hmm. Do we live in a society? No.
Nice try.
Knoll gamers, rise up.
Very nice. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Much appreciated. Also, this is a very good-looking Knoll.
Thanks. It's fucking swole. Also, headcanon, but gnolls share the same sexual dimorphism as actual hyenas, and so female gnolls are the ones who are fucking built and massive.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I'm pretty sure you'd get a bunch more gnolls with closer to Warboy builds than you would get the 8-foot-tall jacked hyena men.
8-foot-tall jacked hyena men.
What's not to love?
Oh my god. Flamethrower Knoll is evil version of the Mountain Man card.
Oh god! Oh god! You pulled the book rocker! Oh, what does this card do? How you doing tonight, Sideria?
Dun 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 dun. Would there be slaves in this evil city? Thinking back on my lore, I am 90% sure hobgoblins do keep slaves. Gnolls keep slaves for all of about, like, maybe 10 days at the most before...
They make it that long.
Yeah, slaves usually don't make it that long under gnolls.
That's probably for the best, honestly.
Azriel Dreamer 2 asks, Atwas, you are the internet and you use your power to make me see this image?
What, see jacked hyena ladies? You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're
What,
welcome.
like,
dude. Come on. Why shouldn't there be, like, a crazy fucking matriarchal society that uses, like, the male gnolls as war boy fodder? That sounds fucking sick.
Yeah, honestly, that sounds pretty sick.
Yep.
Fucking Gnoll war chief. Holy shit, hold on. Gnoll war chief. I know what I'm doing.
Oh boy.
Is that something, the Knoll War Chief?
God, I wish that were me. I mean, what? Yeah, a drawing.
Yep. How does this look this good, this fast? Y'all are talented beings. I mean, it's true. We got some talented beings here.
Thank you.
Is this place literally called...
Sitting for something.
Is this place literally called Bad Town? No! Why the fuck would I call this place Bad Town? I'm not that bad at naming things!
Only if it's spelled like this.
Bad Town.
It's because the hyena men, they got to name it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the hyena men call it.
Yep. Everyone else was like, that's a stupid name. And the hyenas were like, witness me! And started chopping everyone up until they stopped arguing and called it Bad Town.
They can't do anything to the castle people, who call it its proper name. But the hyena people just call it Bad Town.
Bad Town. Bad Town where there is Martha Dukes.
Where there's Martha Dukes. Okay. Someday Cursed Throne will be back. Please watch Cursed Throne.
Please watch Cursed Throne.
Me and my players, please play Cursed Throne.
Please play Cursed Throne. Oh, fuck.
Cursed Throne has just been having the worst luck streak for the past, month.
Yeah.
We're not technically on hiatus, but we've just been having the worst luck.
Mm-hmm. Because you've been scheduled to stream on Halloween, on Thanksgiving, on the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle of finals week.
Mm-hmm. I mean, DMP's coming back in January. Might as well add Cursed Throne to the coming back in January, hopefully, list.
Hopefully. Of course, the Hobgoblins in militarized society have probably cleaner looking militarized bases than the rest of town. Than the ramshackle huts that these hyena people
Yep.
live in.
All right, very good, Grobnek. I see you've cleaned your particular section of these quarters to perfection. You even chiseled away so they're perfectly square edges. And you, Hyena Jake, you had a tent at some point. Where did the tent go, Hyena Jake?
In my belly!
Oh, Hyena Jake, I can't stay mad at you. Do we have a potential resume date for Fallen Empires? Hopefully January!
Soon, TM.
Mm-hmm. That's just gonna be the date for everything. Hopefully January. Evil hyenas are good boys. They're not! They're chaotic evil!
They're not. We can make fun of them all we want while we're not playing against them, but they're not.
Yeah. But hyena boys and their crazy-ass society, they're fun to laugh and joke at outside of playing D&D, but when you're going up against the war boys, it's a lot less funny.
Yeah. You can laugh about it after the stream, before the stream, but during the stream, oh, no.
During
like
the stream.
God.
Mm-hmm. Can Hyena Jake stay in the campaign? Much like Bad Town, we're not calling him Hyena Jake.
Unless we name this.
Yeah, okay. They're evil, but they're loyal to their masters at least. They're not even that! They just like killing things.
Yeah, as long as they have a steady stream of things to kill, they probably won't try to march into the castle and kill everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
Rule by might, nothing else.
Might.
Yep.
Speaking of might, they might not do that.
They might not do that. pretty sure the only reason they don't repeatedly try to storm the castle is because Mad King and cronies kicked their ass enough that they started to realize, hey, there are squishier targets off west. You want to go fuck with the dwarves? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ragnar has a point. The hyenas didn't even spare Scar. Loyalty to their master. Actually, wait. Does that even count? Because by that point, Scar was selling him out.
Yeah, Scar was selling him out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they still did it, but I'm not sure that counts as a perfect example of hyenas and loyalty.
Yeah, Scar betrayed them. They didn't betray Scar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Scar didn't keep his promises of endless meat. Scar used them as a meat shield for Simba's when the lion's wrath.
He used them as a scapegoat for all the problems of the Pride Lands.
Yep.
While they're in earshot.
Yeah, he had that coming.
Mm-hmm.
Hyenas didn't betray anybody.
And even the Lion Guard, there's a good hyena.
Yeah. Like, even in Kingdom Hearts, the hyenas are pretty chill when there's not Scar. So, yeah.
Not Scar.
Scar's just an asshole.
Yeah. Lion Claudius is not a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
There's Gobletler base right there.
Nice.
The star. There's a literal line drawn in the sand.
Literal line. Hold on, let me... Whoop. There we go, line in the sand. Whoop.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they did.
Hand tool. And we got pretty badass looking Knoll Warchief up here.
God, I love her already.
Mm-hmm. So, fun fact, one of the characters I was thinking of for the campaign was a Hyena Warchief. Thanks, I'm stealing this design now.
Excellent!
Excellent.
Given. God, I love her. Anyway.
Anyway.
God, this castle looks fucking sick.
It really does, though.
Man.
Can we have that war chief be one of the bosses? I mean, I don't see what else she could possibly be. Yeah. You go in to rescue the princess, you open the door, the war chief is there. Oh, mighty heroes, thank you so much.
But your princess is in another castle.
Ooh, so the black dragon can fly, right?
Yes.
Just double checking. Okay, like imagine the black dragon like taking over like an entire wing of the castle, like one of the towers, like kind of like ripping off the roof and making that like a lair base of operations, dripping acid, shit like that. I don't know.
My city now.
Yeah. This is my tower, and I will love it forever and always. Got a name for Scary Chief Lady? I had a name at one point. Let me check the document I had, because I had names, but not like designs finalized for a couple different NPCs across Sideria.
The ancient texts.
The ancient texts.
I actually need to look up some hyena reference.
Ah, heck.
Hobgoblin policeman.
Mm-hmm.
One day I will play my ex-gladiator hyena character, a null character.
The name I put down for hyena null pack leader was Egroot. Egroot of the Wicked Heralds.
Ooh, nice.
In the sense that if you see them coming, they're heralding the fact that you're gonna get your ass stomped in.
Wicked Heralds, why aren't all of them named Herald?
Hey!
Be asking right now.
Similarly, I'm remembering one of the single greatest, I want to say typos, but, let's call it a typo because I don't remember if this was on a church bulletin board outside or on a church program. It was a list of, not a list. It was part of the lyrics for the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Howard.
Todd Howard, you've done it again!
Todd Howard, you've done it again!
Hey, you. Got caught up in that Imperial land. Finally awake.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of gnolls either named, a bunch of gnolls all named Harold who follow their god Howard.
There's a hobgoblin military chief.
There he be. Nice, nice. How is that name spelt I'm finally seeing? Incorrectly. For Egroot, the chieftain of the Gnolls. Okay. But I am liking the alternative name, Hyena Big Sword.
Hyena Big Sword.
Excellent, thank you. That's fun.
That's going to be the name of my new character.
Hyena Big Sword.
Hyena Big Sword. I am Hyena. I have big sword. I'm in it for the bitches.
And of course, his distant relative, Fusa Big Sword.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Sword is not what you think.
Well, they have some kind of war chest to keep their economy afloat. Just have them raid every town for their money or bribe them. Give us your money and we won't burn anything to the ground. Mad King is sitting on one of the biggest treasuries in all of Sideria. He is fine for money to pay out hobgoblins, and gnolls both either respect might, or for the gnolls, what the fuck is an economy?
Economy.
Economy. Yeah, gnolls being raiders would have little to no concept of economy. More like, nice stuff. It's my stuff.
Stonks.
Stonks.
I made this.
Mhm.
You made this. I made this.
I made this. But, yeah, as for keeping the economy afloat, there's generally no problems doing that. There's a whole lot of raw material around to make new weapons and armor for the hobgoblins. Gnolls are never going to have a problem getting weapons and armor. We don't have stuff to steal? Fine. let's tear Jerry apart, carve stuff out of his bones. Congratulations, we got a new stabby stick!
So that's what happened to Hyena Jake.
This is what you get when you destroy your own tent, Hyena Jake.
Dang it, Hyena Jake. They're gonna have to get that tent back somehow.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bit drippy, but it's used, lived in.
Lived in. It lived in somebody else.
Ew.
Boy. Bless you.
Thank you. So I'll make a cartoon featuring the antics of Hyena Jake. Hyena Jake is dead! We were just over this!
Hyena Jake just died. His bones are weapons now.
He lives on in that which I use to stab!
Truly a worthy death.
I call this dagger Hyena Jake because that's who I used to make it.
He's got how many ribs? Damn, that's a lot of daggers! Hyena Jake will forever live in our hearts. And in Hyena Jerry's stomach. They had to do something with the meat.
Yeah. Hyena Jake will forever live on in our hearts and other people's hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Very briefly, because that's where we stab people.
Yeah.
But in other people's hearts nonetheless.
Yep. So, like, in Breath of the Wild, a lot of the treasure was tailored to whatever region you found it in, so, like, you'd find a lot of boulder breakers and rock crushers in the Goron mines and stuff, because obviously that's where they would keep that equipment. I'm just picturing going through this very dangerous hyena and hobgoblin camp. Finally, a treasure chest! Let's open it and see what's inside! You found a hyena bone dagger.
The name Hyena Jake is carved into the side. It serves as a reminder to not be like Hyena Jake and eat your own tent.
Yep. Gnolls are cannibals in this world. Meat is meat.
Let's not think about prions.
Mm-hmm.
No, see, cannibals are for the other stream.
Yep. Cannibals are on Thursdays.
Yep.
Hyenas, man.
Hyenas. They crazy.
Hell yeah.
You step over the line, and all of a sudden you hear.
You look around. Flamethrower guitar hyena is right behind you.
Yeah.
You came to the wrong neighborhood.
Instantly, that musical number from Lion King Run.
Mm-hmm. Written by Sir Elton John and Tim Rice. I think it's Sir's, actually, because I know Elton John's got a knighthood, and I'm 90% sure Tim Rice has one, too.
Oh my god.
If not, he should. Dear Queen of England, since I know you're watching this stream, listen. I want you to find Tim Rice, and I want you to make him a knight of the British Empire. Just as a favor to your old pal Alex from twitch.tv/internet remix. That's internet remix without the hyphen.
See you for Christmas, thanks.
I mean, if Bernie Sanders can go on Twitch.
You gotta understand, this is how I do fundraising now. Tim Rice does have a knighthood. Tim Rice does have a knighthood, thank God.
The Queen of England did listen.
The Queen of England listened!
Man, this castle's sick.
It's
I
pretty
like
friggin'
your
rad.
architecture. Actually
These
going
would
to
be
quickly
terrible.
acquire a beverage. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Used to be terrible with proportions for buildings. I always put windows like they were too big for the building in comparison to the door. I'm more careful about that now, thankfully. So yeah.
Ah, welcome to my humble abode. The door is pretty tiny, so we'll have to go through the window. Excuse me. I don't know why we keep putting glass in there.
We call them French doors for a reason.
Astral Dreamer 2, I love the fact that Rice has been randomly capitalized in Tim Rice's name.
Tim Rice!
Legendary lyricist and knight of the British Empire, Tim Rice!
And then draw the giant cobra dragon barfing,
Vomiting acid outside of the window. One of those things.
Fuck your architecture!
Who wants some extremely cursed knowledge?
I do.
Love Never Dies is a musical that exists.
It sure does. I think last year on Broadway Across America, that was one of the things that came to my local theater. I went to see everything in Broadway Across America except that.
Good call. Admittedly, it has a few really fucking catchy songs, but you know, the rest of it, just the rest of it. For those who are not informed, Love Never Dies is the quote heavy quote sequel to Phantom of the Opera. Yeah.
Sequel, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It reads like someone's fanfic.
Cause spoilers, it sure was.
Oh my God.
Also-
can be good. In this case, it was not.
Yeah. Fun fact, 2/3 of the way through writing the score, Andrew Lloyd Webber's cat jumped up on his keyboard and deleted the whole thing, so he had to start from scratch.
Oh my God.
Anyway, if I had to remember that, you all had to remember that, so joke's on you.
Equivalent exchange. We talk about the Lion King Broadway show. We also have to talk about Love Never Dies.
Love never dies. Okay, but hear me out. Consider this. Cat deleted the score for Love Never Dies. Andrew Lloyd Webber has one day to get the score in. Just uses the pre-programmed Yamaha keyboard beats. and puts lyrics to those.
Oh God.
You joke, but
Alex, could you burn down the theater showing it? No less than it deserves after that? No, because that was before Hamilton came to the theater, and I wanted to see Hamilton.
I have a confession to make.
Wesley.
I haven't actually seen the Broadway Lion King at all.
Okay.
I will in like a few months, but
Nice.
for a show that's been on for like, forever. Just it's never happened. The stars have never aligned. I heard it's great though.
That's unfortunate.
It's
The first time I saw it was in Vegas.
Nice.
It's really neat. Like, this must have been when I was like 10 to 12 years old, and it was in town for Broadway across America. So, we got one set of tickets for it with mom and stepdad. Then grandma and grandpa wanted to see it, so we got tickets for another show with them as additional goers on. And then dad and stepmom also got me tickets to a showing of The Lion King. So I saw that thing 3 times in the span of about a week.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Oh my god.
Ooh, I actually heard that the current tour, like the Spanish tour of Lion King, the lady playing Rafiki had zero fucking experience. She was driving her roommate to the audition, and the casting director was like, "You have a nice look. Come audition." Me? Yes, you. Come on audition. She fucking got the part. Excellent. Her
Amazing.
roommate did not, by the way. So I assume that was a little awkward, but
Oh,
like you.
oh, that's awkward.
Like you do.
Hey, if you live in the middle of nowhere and you want to watch plays, honestly, like, go check out some local, like, schools. Usually they have something going on. There are a lot of community theaters in smaller towns.
Community theaters are really nice. Schools can be surprisingly good.
Yeah, high school production can be pretty good.
And you'll probably see things that you never would have seen otherwise.
Yeah,
At all.
I discovered Catch Me If You Can for your high school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you'll never see Bat Boy the musical on Broadway, but yeah. Surprisingly fun. Fun, not good.
Yep.
Bad
There
Boy
are-
the musical.
There are a lot of those.
Doesn't have to be good to be enjoyable.
Right?
But I
Like-
mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say anything with a song, a tongue-in-cheek song called Christian Charity, like, sign me up.
Nice.
I think this is enough detail on the castle town and everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's just an image you could work on for, like, ever.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think we're good calling it here.
Cool.
Cool.
We've only been at this for an hour?
Yeah, we've been at this for about like an hour.
Only?
We might get to Snidler.
We might get
God.
to Snitler, yeah. Before we do though, since it's around the halfway point, and I don't want to cut us off and leave us with, and we're back. We have 10 minutes. Go. I say we take our break here. We'll come back in a couple of minutes, and I think next is Lizard Folk.
Yeah.
Right. Rad. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome back. I have obtained Crunch. So yeah, I've got snacks while we talk about more places in Sideria. Because right now we are on Lizard People! Yay! Like Lewis here.
Thank you for instantly recognizing that it was Lewis. Okay, I gotta drop Fantasy New Orleans now.
Fantasy New Orleans. So, lizard folk. Lizard folk live in the swamp, and most of them do not really have cities. So to make a lizard folk city, they'd have to build like a bunch of floating shacks that on the swampland, and I was picturing they'd have the ability to like paddle them along the water to make a sort of mobile city, because hey, that sounded cool at the time. So cool. Because, like, just in case there's an enemy, not gonna burn the city to the ground if the city ain't there. Go faster, Mom!
Go faster! They're gaining on us!
So, when you say lizard folk, what kind of lizard are you thinking about?
Like, the traditional lizard folk in D&D looks kind of like a monitor lizard to me. Because, like, in Irion, Fallen Empire's land, they're very clearly alligator people. But I recognize there are a whole bunch of different lizards that lizard folk could be based on. Let me look something up really quick, because I did have some ideas, and I have the whole internet at my fingertips, and don't remember them.
Sounds good. Yo, you know it'd be dank? Fucking frilled lizards.
Yeah, that'd be dank.
That'd be dank.
Concept. A lizard folk OC, but he's just the Geico Gecko Churl leaf.
Churl leaf.
Door's right there. Gonna have to ask you to
Stop you right
cease
there.
and desist. Komodo dragon's actually very similar to monitor lizard in terms of general like shape and head. Yeah.
It'd be cool.
Like, I think I was picturing monitor lizard and iguana as the two main subsets.
Dude, iguanas are nasty.
Iguanas. Don't let Issa from Dora the Explorer fool you.
Iguanas hate you.
Iguanas will destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
Issa was an outlier. Issa secretly wanted to kill Dora.
So Atwas, you know when Churro said something about the Geico Gecko as a lizard folk?
Yes.
Geckos are also... I was also picturing geckos as, like, some of the smaller scouts for the lizard folk of Sideria. Like, they're not gonna sell you insurance, but, beyond
There's
monitor
some
lizard
really
and iguana.
fucking cool geckos out there, like crested geckos, for instance. Those are sick. Or like satanic leaf geckos.
Mhm.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
As long as there's no insurance involved.
As long as there's no insurance involved, yeah.
You require stabbing insurance. Insurance against being stabbed. No, I'm good. What a shame. If only you had stabbing insurance.
Christ.
Would there be ironclads and steamboats in this area? They'd have paddle wheels powered by stuff from Mechanus, the clockwork plane, but no. Sideria did not go through the same technological developments as Irion. There's not a lot of steam and clockwork technology here.
I was just thinking.
What kind of weaponry would lizard folk use? What do you think?
Not all that much different from standard Forgotten Realms lizard folk, like
Okay.
stuff they carved themselves out of wood and bone. Cause by my last check for the tables as to random encounters and material gathering, metal is incredibly hard to find in northeastern Sideria.
Instead of steam, they just paddle like with their legs. Oh shoot! Enemy's coming! Go quick!
Go.
To the paddles!
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To the paddles!
Like, they probably are smart enough to have, like, levers and stuff to send a wheel into spin super fast and then stop spinning. But, like, they're not gonna
They
have
probably like,
gadgets.
so they probably have like a flywheel or something that they just they start spinning so that they can get away. They can make a quick getaway.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively quick.
Yep. Longbows made from jungle trees. This is more swamp than jungle. There's a little bit of jungle in the northeast. But
Jungle is Snitlerland.
jungle is southeast. That's Snittler. What kind of mounts would the lizard folk and other people of the swamp use in the swamp? Gators? If they needed to use mounts, they'd probably get gators. Mm-hmm.
We probably have a bunch of these flywheels set peppered around the floating cities. If they at any one point they can like turn them and move and get out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hightail it. There's probably a job that people have.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, so they're Floridians. No, they're from New Orleans. We've been over this.
Yeah.
All lizard folk are from New Orleans, obviously.
Yeah, the Louisianas, get it right.
Mm-hmm. So, a couple of questions as to lizard folk and or going underwater and or going in the rain. They can't run on water. Too bulky for that.
They're not Jesus, jeez.
Yeah. But lizard folk have adapted to be able to hold their breath underwater for a very, very long time. They're not skirmishers, they are ambush predators.
Listen carefully and you'll hear the sound of your own doom.
Mm.
Alright, boys, paddle.
Paddle, boys! And that's the story of how me adventuring party got run over by an entire city.
I like the implication that they just hunt with their entire city.
Mm-hmm. This seems ludicrously impractical. Shut up and paddle!
Turn the flywheel and now ask questions, Johnson. That's not what we pay you for.
What's an economy? Yeah, because, like, of all the major cities in Sideria, the lizard folk are honestly probably the most self-sufficient.
Yeah. They have their swamp.
Mm-hmm.
They have their water, kind of.
Yeah. We got swamp, like, you gotta help us, the Mad King is terrorizing every city, we're being separated, everything's helpless, and the lizard folk sip their tea, is like, fascinating.
The Mad King has been spotted coming from this area. Well, boys, you know what to do.
Do they have poison smoke bombs? Not the way they'd prefer to hunt. Cause, like, wait, this meat tastes like poison. Are you trying to kill me? It won't work, I'm adapted against it, but, like, come on, man, that ruins the flavor.
It's disgusting. Stop putting poison in your meat.
They probably catch, like, shellfish.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe as the city's moving, they have like crab traps. Maybe they trawl. Maybe they trawl through through like the.
Yep. There's a grocery store chain in Texas that their commercials are basically nowadays it's going specifically to places where they get their ingredients, let's call them, from. Like I'm Dominic and this is the winery and this is where I shop for my local grocery chain. One time they talked about crawfish, and the guy there was utterly incomprehensible when he was trying to talk about how he got crawfish. Yeah. We go through this boat house there, and we go get a crawfish. No, I'll crawfish, and there's the crawfish, So, this was a long transition from, hey, I wonder what they eat, and it's probably incomprehensible crawfish.
To be fair, I wouldn't trust any other person to get crawfish from.
Yeah, I mean, like, cages probably know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be incomprehensible crawdads or nothing.
If I can understand what you're talking to me about crawdads, you ain't getting good crawdads.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, here's something I just thought of. The little city boats can separate if they need to, and then hook up later, like a city Voltron.
Yo, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty, like gangplanks and everything to get to each other, and easily separate as well.
Oh yeah.
This is actually a pretty cool society, like a bunch of water nomads.
Yeah, like, when I was thinking, okay, lizard folk city. Lizard folk don't have cities. Shit. What about their society would make them have a city, and one that's really friggin' interesting? Water nomads, there we go.
Yeah.
So basically it's Mortal Engines, but on water? I always meant to see that movie, and then I never did, and I think that's the experience with literally everyone.
There's a gangplank to connect to another piece of the city. They try to stay in order so that, like, people's lives aren't messed up, I suppose, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, where's the general store?
I thought it was 3 doors down! Yeah, I'm sure, like, they have labels and stuff so that people don't try to slot building A into slot B.
Yeah. No, that's not where the hospital's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it, Johnson, I thought you were manning the paddle wheel.
Yeah. I am manning the paddle wheel. They don't pay me to navigate it.
That's Johnson number 2's job.
Mm-hmm. If the city moves around on the water, how will it ever be found from time to time? I'm going to pull up the Rough World map real quick. So, you can see that it's in the northeast corner where the lizard folk hang out. I know it does back out onto the water, but boats of that kind, and lizard folk in general, are not designed evolutionarily or man-made to go out and live on open water. They're mostly going to stick to the interior of the swamp, so like you'd have to get deep into swamp territory to find where the lizard folk houseboats normally would be. And once you're there, like, it's only a matter of time before you find one if you're looking for one.
I mean, all you have to do is get, like, up a little bit, and it's not that hard to find a giant fucking city in a place where it's mostly flat.
Just look for a friggin' boat, guy. It's
Yeah.
not that hard.
Or, like, smoke. Something.
Yeah,
Probably
listen
that's
for signs of life, because the lizard folk definitely know you're there.
Listen for signs of life.
I think I hear something. Perception check 4. It's fine.
We should probably have lanterns so that they know where they're going at night.
Good call.
Yeah, because
Do lizard folk have dark vision?
I don't think lizard folk have dark vision, because, like, we were just talking about this in Cannibal Conspiracy, because Voltiv's a lizard folk, and he doesn't.
So yeah, probably gonna need those lanterns if you want to navigate at night.
Wow, one of the, like, 2 races in 5e that doesn't have dark vision.
Like, they give dark vision to freaking everybody, but then Volo's guide came out and it's like, we need to balance this. Swamp ambush hunters, no dark vision. People who can fly, no dark vision. People who live in the mountains like dwarves, no dark vision.
So, would your owl Aarakocra variants have dark vision?
I mean, if the sun's not going to come up for up to 24 hours, you'd better fucking have dark vision.
I mean, they're owls.
I see.
Of course they will.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I actually still have the subraces of Aarakocra up. The owl Aarakocra have dark vision.
Oh, good.
Great, they won't die.
Mm. What do they have camouflage in case they get attacked or want to sneak up on people? Their camouflage is dive underwater and then come up behind people.
Swims behind you. Nothing personnel, kid.
Yeah, these are geckos, iguanas, and monitor lizards. They do not camouflage. They're here to get, like, they sit around and then get really fucking angry at you for short bursts.
Hey, he's getting away with the crawfish!
Yeah. As your Dreamer says, in core D&D, it's literally only humans and Dragonborn that don't have dark vision. Which is, I guess, another case of, oh, you want to play a Dragonborn? Fuck you. Dragonborn. The worst race in D&D.
Tragic, really.
Mm-hmm.
Alternative take. Dragonborn. D&D. Hard mode.
Mm-hmm.
For the hardcore player.
For a challenge run.
D&D challenge speedrun, let's go.
The Dragonborn, we don't racially stereotype because we suck.
Aww.
Oh.
I'd love to live here. It actually seems pretty cool.
Yeah, this place looks pretty chill.
I mean, it's... I mean, like, it's fantasy New Orleans, and it's a boat city. Barge city, whatever. Technically, it's a barge, I guess it's a flatboat.
Mm-hmm. In about 100, 200 years, I'm picturing they would get the actual, like, steamboat, riverboat, cruise ship stuff. And then it's lizard folk party barges, baby!
Lizard folk party barges. They mellow out, they start having, like, they invent the lizard.
You like jazz.
Discover jazz. They discover jazz. They start hiring jazz musicians to play on their newly refurbished steamboat cities. You just get more mellow.
Would Lizard City have festivals like New Orleans? No. Lizard folk don't party.
Yet. These guys aren't partying yet. Maybe wait another 200 years for technological development, then they'll start partying.
The end goal of the campaign is to get the lizard folk to party.
And this is called a steam engine. Ooh, this gives me the inexplicable urge to throw a party.
And you say you blow into this horn and it creates music.
Yes.
I have done it.
I have created music. And we can give you lessons for free. You have yourself a deal. And that's how parties work. And that's how the Lizard Folk invented parties.
Yep. every other race is smart enough to not try and say, actually, we had parties way before you. Because no one parties like a lizard folk.
Yep.
Literally, it's impossible. Oh god. You call this a party?
I can't believe we're world building 200 years in the future. I mean, it's interesting to think about, of course, but like, yeah, I can't believe it.
Y'all sound like Palpatine. Now, witness the power of this fully armed and fully operational houseboat. Good. Good, young Skywalker.
Imagine probably some of these hordes are buying this for doubling the use for hanging clothes and camouflage within the swamp.
Mm-hmm. Drape over the swamp curtain.
Okay, we're heading into enemy territory. Everybody close your curtains.
Boom. Hey, is that a floating pile of trees approaching us? Surprise, it's lizards!
Surprise it's lizards. Just a good sentence to use in any situation.
It's an incredibly powerful phrase.
Especially when you're throwing a party in the next 200 years.
Mm-hmm. Save the date.
The R in RSVP stands for reptile.
Greetings, I'm from Disney Mr. Palpatine. We know you evaded your capture and are usurping a Twitch channel. Please return to the vault. You cannot stop me. I am the Senate. With this Twitch channel, I have unlimited power!
Okay. Maybe some cattails for a little bit of atmosphere. Nice looking floating city. Or piece of floating city. Of course, Johnson's not at the flywheel because I was just focusing on the city, but...
Right. Johnson's on break.
Johnson's on break. Johnson's probably checking the crab traps he laid out.
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of no one parties like a lizard folk, back when I still had a Facebook account, one of my friends who was from New Orleans, I think, reposted a link saying the top 5 most crime-ridden cities in America. New Orleans was number 1, and their response was just, "We know how to party."
Nice.
So the good news, lizard folk parties. The bad news, once they do, lizard folk crime on the rise.
Lizard folk crime rate rises 100%. They're not crimes, they're party fouls.
Open up, this is the police. Sir, you're arrested. For lizard crimes!
For lizard crimes!
The hobgoblin cops come over. Like,
what would the lizard folk justice system be like?
Did you do this thing? No?
No.
Zone of truth. Did you do this thing?
Maybe.
Toss you out into the swamp.
yeah. That's pretty. Leave you to the gators.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot more effective if you're not a lizard folk, honestly.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Because, like, I think if you are a lizard folk... Oh, wait, I don't think it actually matters if you're not a lizard folk, because I'm picturing, like, if you did this thing, you gotta prove you're still of worth to us. We're just gonna take your stuff, drop you off at this swamp cave, go do this trial by combat or whatever. If you die, if you manage to find your way back to us, great. Cool. Don't do the crime again.
You have learned your lesson. Don't do it again.
Mm-hmm. Who's the in charge of Lizard Land? That would be the Lizard's High Priest. Mm-hmm. As I look up...
Party Rock Jesus!
Party Rock Jesus! As I look up the name, because Lizard High Priest was something I had written down for a name of one of the NPCs. Salathis, Mystic of the Lizard Folk. Which would require me to look through the Mystic Unearthed Arcana rules, because who the fuck's gonna stop me?
No, you're only doing this to yourself.
Oh, fuck.
No. He's in too deep, folks.
Oh,
I'm afraid it's terminal.
What is the political system or society of the Lizard Folk? The Lizard Folk's main society outside of Irion is... Are you a Lizard Folk? Cool. Hop in, help us be self-sustainable. Are you not a Lizard Folk? Leave us the fuck alone, unless you've got something that you can trade with us. Which is the entire reason why we built these house cities. Floating cities, rather. Instead of just, going places. But yeah, it's not lizard folk communism, because obviously people who can contribute more to the tribe are valued higher than other people. Like, oh, you guard the eggs of the lizard folk? Cool, that's awesome. You're gonna be higher in society than the guy who's manning the flywheel.
Without the flywheel man, your lizard folk society is nothing! Strike! Strike! Strike!
Strike! Strike! Gets tossed out into the swamp!
Come back when you've learned your lesson!
But, yes, there are 4 major cities in Sideria that I made to correspond to the 4 stops you make in Breath of the Wild. Still have yet to figure out the finer details of what keys they hold that would correspond to the divine beasts and the guardians and whatever. But out of all of those, the lizard folk is the society that is the most self-sufficient and would be like, oh hey, everyone else is in trouble? Okay. Goes back to looking at crab traps.
I wonder how many crabs I've caught in my crab trap.
Technically speaking, there is just one city that they have split into many different parts. So, like, it's not going to be like, oh, this is the floating city of Buffalo versus the floating city of Synecdoche, and we're going to put them together. No, it's just, oh, this is the floating city of this place and this place. We kind of have a name for it in case anyone asks so that they can shut the hell up and call it that, but other than that, nah, the lizard folk don't really see any difference between their floating bits of city.
We call it New Lizard New Orleans. Now shut up.
We'll tell you the name if you help us get these crawfish.
We cannot understand what this person is saying. He's probably going to get us some pretty good crawfish.
Mm-hmm. What if they change the name based on wherever they are on the river? They'd have names for the rivers and stuff. They'd be able to identify where specifically in the swamp they are. But for something...
I feel like the rivers are more important.
Yeah. The rivers are way more important to them than the name of the city. Because, that's temporary. They can move the city. They can move their society at any time. River's there to stay. They're gonna name that. New Liz Orleans, bro. Honestly, though, that sounds like a Gizoogle version of New Orleans. I think that's what it's called.
Yes, Gizoogle. God, what a throwback.
Oh man, I remember that. I remember running things through Gazoogle just for fun. There's the there's the way they steer. Click on the stern over there.
Chunk. They just pull a bunch of levers to turn the massive floating cities down the river rather than have it ram into the riverbanks and keep adjusting course that way. We tried that for a while, but we had to keep putting everything back, and it sucked.
God, Juno, this is so fucking sick.
This is freaking rad.
They have those little thingies over there, those little inner tubes, the inner tube looking things to prevent the riverbank from destroying their city again.
Yep. Little bumpers on the side.
We're not stupid.
Would they have water cannons using the water from the river and then just build the water pressure in the cannon before fire? No, they would not have that. That is far too technologically advanced for the lizard folk to bother.
Plumbing is enough of a hassle already.
Mm-hmm. You have to understand, the majority of the lizard folks' society is made out of wood and bone. That requires a whole lot of metal and moving parts to make a water cannon, and even then, what use would they have for it?
What are they gonna be firing that thing at? Crawfish?
Crawfish?
At most, I could see them eventually building a crawfish pump or
Mm-hmm.
like that salmon tube.
Lizard folks' reaction when it comes time to go to war and they have a fairly decent chance of losing is just go around it. They're not gonna build water cannons to go to war to people. What kind of magic would the lizard folks use? Mostly druids and mystics. Yeah, it's druids and psionics for the lizards. Strange and mystical powers, they're probably the most magically inclined, but they don't go out of their way to advertise it, of the 4 main cities.
Yeah, they gotta they gotta deal with their crab traps.
Mm-hmm.
Time to be advertising your magic around the entire continent when you've got crab traps to attend to.
Teach me your ancient ways, O wise one! A watched crab trap never gets crabs. Walks away.
Wow, so profound.
I see. And again, I'd like to point out, y'all, this looks really good for the time that we've been spending on it.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
In 300 years, the crabs become sentient, and they start to rebel.
Okay.
And that's when they break out the water cannons.
That's when they break out the water. No, that's when they break out the crab pump. Teach them who's boss.
Boom. I thought they would use forbidden magic like voodoo. Maybe? I don't want to say straight up it's voodoo because voodoo is an actual religion, so,
Yeah, voodoo is a real thing.
Yeah.
And actually, the so-called voodoo dolls were actually used for medicinal purposes. You're supposed to do good things. You're supposed to make them of your friends and then do nice things to them, so that like the connection to their soul heals them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then colonialism happened, and anything that was not Christian was deemed evil.
Here's some voodoo malpractice! Alright. This is looking really good. Cool.
I'm gonna save this.
Alright.
And it's time for Snittler!
It's time for Snittler!
I can't believe we got the Snittler!
We got the Snittler!
Finally! The Snittler is here! Here, let me post up the drawing and then we can move on.
Nice.
For Snittler!
So the awesome thing about the Yuan Ti is that they've got basically already a set architectural style. It is like a lot of South American imagery, like ziggurat temples and cities built around those.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool, actually. Let me change the color to a more appropriate green.
Awesome.
So how Yuan Ti are most of the Yuan Ti? Like, what would you say would be the breakdown between more snake than human and more human looking than snake?
I'd say, like, a good 60% would be the Yuan Ti purebloods, which are human-looking. 30% would be the half-bloods, which are the half-snakes. And then the rest are, like, full-on snake abominations.
Sick.
And
That?
working with that, and then here comes another snake! Aw, shit! There he is, there's Snittler. Snitlerland! Now, the Yuan Ti of Sideria took over this place from the elves, because the elves were like, okay, we don't have our castle, at least we got our big settlement in the jungles of the southeast, and then the Yuan Ti eventually showed up and was like, guess again, fuckboy!
I can't believe both Goblitler and Snittler took over Elfland.
Mm-hmm. The elves just eventually looked and they're like, we're getting real tired of your shit. So, last version of my notes, the elves hung out around Jurassic Park world.
Man, they're really moving down in the world.
Screw you, fascists, we're gonna hang out with dinosaurs.
So, like, if this is still paralleling Breath of the Wild, I'm picturing, yes, you must seek the 4 champions of whatever the fuck. I would suggest going for the elves / Zora first. They're the nicest. Okay, goes over there. It's the Yuan Ti.
It's Snittlerland.
You lied to me, old woman.
You lied to me. There's nothing here but snake Nazis.
What is Snittler's actual name? You know, it's really sad that we have to abandon the name Snittler at some point.
Oh, darn. But obviously we cannot have a variation of Hitler in an actual screen.
It's close, though. Sniska.
Well, at least it's close.
It's still close to Snittler.
We still call him Snittler outside of the story.
Mm-hmm. We call... Snittler's just the name his enemies gave him. We call him Snittler. Why? I don't know. Out of context of the real world, that just sounds weird.
Snidolf Snittler.
Snidolf Snittler! And this is my assistant, Snave! It's like Steve, but a snake!
As this is nonsense and sniding a snake.
I take it these guys are going to be cartoonish evil just because we joke about Snittler a lot because the concept of Snake Hitler is funny doesn't mean these are cartoonishly evil.
No, they're probably going to be really threatening in the game, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Snittler is funny to say.
So for those of you who've seen Tomb of Annihilation, the Yuan-Ti are completely joyless. They are really bad dudes, the Yuan-Ti. So when I call them snake Nazis, I'm not talking about the wacky Nazis from Saturday morning cartoons. Yuan-Ti I call the Yuan-Ti snake Nazis because they're snake people that follow the Nazi ideology really closely.
Yeah. They're nationalists.
Mm-hmm. That being said, I'm sure there are plenty of games where you run in and fight the Yuan-Ti and you fight their leader, Cobra Commander.
Hail Snyder! That's Snake Hydra for you uninitiated.
Hail Hydra! Turns as an actual Hydra.
There's an actual. It seems like the worse the villain is outside in the context of the story, the more fun it is to make fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
We did this for
the hyenas. We did this for Snittler. We keep doing this for the murder guy.
Yep.
So
would their salute?
Somehow.
Mm-hmm. So would their salute be them planking? They have arms.
They have arms.
Yeah, even the weirdest of the mutated snake people have arms. Sometimes the arms are made of snakes, but hey.
It'd just be like that.
I'm not like other girls. I have snake arms.
Mm-hmm. The Yuan-Ti version of Tall Girl on Netflix. Snake arms.
Everybody makes fun of me because I have snakes for arms. People around her who have worse mutations than snake arms.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Jenny No Skin. Ah!
I'm constantly shedding!
But I have snakes for arms!
I have 2 extra mouths to feed!
But I have snakes for arms!
But consider snitties.
Oh god, snitties! I'm so glad that they didn't give Viper from Kung Fu Panda snitties.
On principle, I refuse to draw snitties because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Why would snakes have titties?
Let me slither
for
on
the
the ground,
mammal gaze.
rolling over my humongous bosom as I do so.
It's for the mammalian gaze.
I can't believe that the Tsuchinoko is real. The only snake that could potentially have snitties. And even then, it's not a snitty, it's just thickness.
Yeah. It's a single solitary snid.
One snid, as opposed to two sniddies.
Mm-hmm. You may have one snid. One.
We have snid at home.
We have snid at home, snid at home. So in terms of other buildings, what other buildings?
Give me a second, because I think the Yuan T City might have been one of the ones I actually planned out what buildings there are in it.
Oh, excellent. That gives me more to work with.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. So that subfolder, that subfolder. Alright, so there's that big old temple stronghold, obviously.
Got that covered.
Got that covered. So, the way I've been building some of these cities is separating them into different categories. So, military buildings, they've got like an armory, a smithery, and their torture chamber.
Oh, boy, a torture chamber, that's fun.
Yeah, they're UNT, they do like their torture. They've got, what I put down, like, Scrivener's office for their version of a library, but honestly, they probably just took over the ones the elves already had, and it's like, I made this. Mm-hmm. And then they probably got a meeting house somewhere to discuss snake things, like how they're going to take over the rest of Sideria, because listening to the Mad King, that sounds dumb as hell.
There's only one true leader!
Yeah. Other than that, they're based on, like, South American culture architecturally, so, like, Mayan, Aztec, and Inca, those kinds of buildings. The stacked staircase, I'd like to think they have that to show, we are superior to regular snakes, we can climb stairs!
This hurts my belly! But we are superior!
We are superior! Behold my mighty legs and despair! The torture chamber is the most used entertainment building. Yeah!
Yeah.
Snorcher, live on stage!
It's their Broadway. It's Snodway.
Snodway across Sideria.
They're probably not going to have a huge neon sign that says Snorcher Live on it, but yeah, this is the torture chamber.
Probably not.
Probably going to be big and flashy because, you know, it's their primary attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Experience real life Nazis torture!
Only $20 a ticket!
Fight for the whole family!
How to beat a Dalek, go upstairs. I have not seen a single episode of Doctor Who, and even I know that joke, so yay!
Yay. They can fly now.
When they have the budget for it.
Once they had the budget for flying Daleks, it was all over.
Mm-hmm.
They had the budget to elevate.
Elevate! Elevate! Taste my plunger! I'm also remembering a blooper. I don't remember the exact context, and I don't think it matters at all. Doctor and companion What's-Her-Face were running away from a Dalek who missed his cue, and was running down saying, "Exterminate! Exterminate!" when they were long out of frame. Stopped. Rolled back. Bugger! I lost them!
Those are the best bloopers when they just keep going on in character. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like Elmo. Look at that one with Elmo.
Yeah. Muppets bloopers are always the best.
Yep.
Another one of my
I had
favorites.
fun with it.
Yeah. Another one of my favorites is the original Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire. Like, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson was about to go off, and someone pulled up his chimes and was going. The line was "the chimes of serenity," and they broke in his hands. So it was the chimes of oh shit. And then, completely in character as J. Jonah Jameson, J.K. went, "You broke my fucking chimes."
They will never be able to top the casting for J. Jonah Jameson. Just fucking say.
Yeah, absolutely perfect.
Yep.
All you had to do was not revolt, and you could have had that quality of TV too. Then I'm glad we revolted as Real Dreamer 2. Not to just the quality of Doctor Who, more to just the budget of the early Doctor Who series.
Yeah, they did the best with what they could have.
Early BBC is something special when it comes to effects.
Mhm.
Oh, it's glorious.
You gotta give them props, though. They tried their best. They really tried.
Also, you gotta give them props. They don't have the budget for props.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta give them props both kinds. Are they vain enough to put snake statues all over the place?
They would absolutely be vain enough to put snake statues all over the place.
I'm gonna put snakes at the bottom and at the top. I'm
Fuck
gonna have
yes.
committed snakes for staircase like rails.
Mm-hmm. %, they would be vain enough to make snake statues.
Okay.
If you've been that talk, then we have no choice. Hans, get this sonic monkey wrench.
I like to think that they just plaster all these snake statues on top of all the elf stuff.
Yeah, they just like knocked off the heads and legs of statues and put snakes there instead.
Yeah. Let's put a nice elf statue, but with a snake head, but like a snake coming out of the neck.
Mm-hmm.
That was an elf, but it's a snake now.
It is Snake now. This is Snake. I made this. Speaking of Sonic Monkey Wrench, you know, because I saw Talk of Monkey Island in the chat before when they were talking about like Hollywood and its depiction of voodoo. One of the most fucked up puzzles in the Monkey Island series was you had to use a monkey as a wrench. Now it's not fucked up because of animal cruelty, because that's a collection of bits and bytes on the screen. Who the fuck cares? Monkey wrench does not translate into other languages, so everyone outside of America was just fucked when it came to that puzzle.
Oh my god.
That would be a good game to stream. Monkey Island games.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun time.
Yeah, Monkey Island's rad.
Of course, we have their snake archives.
Right. I remember reading Dominic Armato, the voice actor for Guybrush, was just talking to his friend and was like, "Yeah, I could voice that Guybrush." Walked up and he got the job. So it's like the woman who was Rafiki, who drove her roommate to work.
Sometimes just gotta fucking go for it.
Mm-hmm. Bro saying immediately sticks head in snake staircase.
The snare case.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see you're one of the many tourists who does that. That's very creative. No one's ever tried that before. You know something terrible I just realized? I based the setting of Cannibal Conspiracy 2 vaguely on Germany, so eventually I'm gonna have to use that voice for an NPC.
Oh, no.
Oh god. Surprise! Snitler's here early!
Mm-hmm. Hail the Cannibal God! Is that bro? When in doubt, it's bro. Unless it's Kralix, the fusion between me and Kristen.
Yep. There's the snare case.
Mm-hmm.
Because
They're Snazis, of course they would make a snare case.
Why not? We've got to sand out all of the corners! All of them! See, here's the thing, Phoenix. They would not mind people crawling on the ground, because that is subservience to their snake overlords!
Yeah.
this is their snackqueduct. They totally built it themselves, and it was not built by elves.
Mm-hmm.
It brings them their snotter, their snake water.
It's like water, but it's for snakes.
It's only for snakes!
Mm-hmm. Do not become addicted to water! And then the gnolls are like, hey, that's our thing. We're supposed to be the ones ripping off Mad Max Fury Road.
We are ripping off Rango! All of your water is mine!
Intricate canal systems, totally built by snakes and not by elves.
Mm-hmm. You can tell it was built by snakes because it has corners! Snakes love 90-degree angles! Yeah, I'm picturing, like, they demolished and rebuilt a whole bunch of the cities to be stacked ziggurat places, but when it came to canals and places that got them water, it's like, it works!
Yeah. We just have to relabel it Snotter.
Mm-hmm.
Rex old elf places to show that they maybe are not the ones who originally lived here.
What are you talking about? We lived here the whole time! Just saw stuff!
Yeah. This has been in our family for generations! You bought it from a Pakistani real estate agent in 1980. Shuro says, a Geico commercial just came up on TV. I feel obligated to mention that. The lizard folk are
Delete.
coming for you.
They're coming for you. They're party animals, but they're party animals 200 years in the future, but once they catch wind of Geico, if anybody makes a Geico joke to them, they're coming for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ha, I made a very funny Geico joke. What sounds like a boat approaching us? Tragedy struck as someone's house was destroyed by a moving boat.
Distant banjo noises intensify.
Distant banjo noise.
Dun 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 dun.
There's one. Ding, 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 ding.
Boat comes out.
Mm-hmm. Ride of the Valkyries plays on banjo.
Oh my god.
Alabama is coming for you. You know, that's true just in general. Like, not even... Like, taking out the fantasy lizard folk, Alabama is coming for you is still one of the most intimidating sentences you could ever say.
Yep.
And this is my snarden, my snake garden! It's a garden, but for snakes! Ooh, okay, so because I saw the name Randall and I was watching Monsters, Inc. this morning, would Randall be a U-on-T, or would he be a lizard folk? Randall from Monsters, Inc.
UNT,
I
absolutely,
would say
personality-wise.
UNT, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I thought so. Because, like, there could be a case for him being a lizard who just, like, adapted after he was banished to Louisiana. But UNT,
True.
personality-wise, makes a whole lot more sense for Randall.
Yeah. He's a jerk.
We all mentioned Rango and Ride with Valkyries on Banjo, just letting you know that's a thing in Rango. That's the one thing I remember about Rango.
Really? Not Rattlesnake Jake?
Not Rattlesnake Jake. I saw Rango and it made almost zero impression on me, honestly.
Huh, weird.
Yeah. God. I mean, I thought the animation was pretty nice, but, like, I wasn't really all that into the rest of it.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Western, but with lizards and small mammals.
Right. I think I wasn't really, like, into Westerns at that point in my life.
That
So,
probably
like,
explains it.
Yeah. And having not grown up with Westerns, it wouldn't have that kind of effect on me.
Yeah. Especially not the Clint Eastwood reference at the end, at the climax.
Oh, no, I knew who Clint Eastwood was. I knew enough about Clint Eastwood to know that Timothy Oliphant was a terrible Clint Eastwood.
So, completely random, but you just sparked a dead memory, I suppose. So, my grandmother didn't speak English at all from the previous Soviet Union, basically just spoke Russian, but she loved watching old Western movies, like the old spaghetti Westerns and shit. Didn't matter that they were in English, just, I don't know, something about them, man.
Nice. Like, I know a lot of spaghetti Westerns don't rely all that heavily on dialogue, because The Good and the Bad and the Ugly has an 8-minute Mexican standoff.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I'm going to have to get rid of Snitler because we cannot publish this with a Hitler caricature on it.
F for Snitler.
But know that he exists.
Mm-hmm. He's out
We
there.
will always hold Snitler in our hearts.
But yeah, I think also I was coming off of Die Hard 4 and the Hitman movie, which also had Timothy Oliphant horribly miscast. So I was thinking, is Timothy Oliphant able to be cast in anything? Because, like, it's either he just hasn't found the type of role he fits yet, or he's not great. Because, like, he tried. By God, did he try. But, of all things, that's what I remember about Rango. Not liking the Clint Eastwood impression.
Yeah, that's fair. Probably the rawest thing about that movie, though, was Rattlesnake Jake.
I vaguely remember Rattlesnake Jake. Like,
The animation was really good.
oh yeah, the
Really,
animation was fantastic.
The best thing. There's a lot of animated movies from the mid 2000s. We still like nobody really talks about it because either they're not made by Disney or they're just not very good.
Right?
Yeah, but I know people are talking about Megamind now. But like, where was that energy for Megamind back when it came out? It was a good movie. I loved it.
Yeah, where were the Megamind stands back when Megamind was a thing?
It was taken up by fucking Monsters vs. Aliens, which came out at the same time.
Okay, but like, Monsters vs. Aliens seemed like it would be really good and then was just okay, and now no one talks about it. Megamind turned out to have been really good, and everyone's talking about it now. But the trailer for Megamind made it look like ass.
Yep.
Yeah, it was probably screwed over by Mark. I still watched it. I enjoyed it. I loved it.
Yeah, marketing makes or breaks a movie.
I'm not saying that, like, a decent trailer hasn't been cut in forever, but holy shit, does nobody know how to cut a fucking trailer anymore.
Oh no, tell me about it. Yikes.
Yikes. One of my favorite no one knows how to cut a damn trailer stories. Shutter Island was being made into a movie. Spoilers for any of you who are going to see and or read Shutter Island.
Joke about the spoilers in the trailer.
Yeah, but the main plot of Shutter Island is there are 60 prisoners on this island, except there's actually 61, and Leonardo DiCaprio has to find out who it is. Except in the trailer, they ask, who is prisoner 61? And zoom in for a solid 5 seconds on Leonardo DiCaprio! And the plot twist is that Leonardo DiCaprio was prisoner 61 the whole time!
Oh my god.
And, like, in the book, it was apparently a huge deal. But when we were heading out of the theater, my mom asked me, so are you excited for Shutter Island? I said, no, because they give the twist away. No, they didn't. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio is Prisoner 61. And then she just looked like, oh, shit. And had a 1,000-yard stare as one of the greatest mystery novels she's ever read was figured out in 12 seconds by a 12-year-old watching the Shutter Island trailer.
I'm still salty about the How to Train Your Dragon 2 trailer. Just saying.
Yeah. Honestly, I just want to see How to Train Your Dragon 2 because How to Train Your Dragon 1 was so freaking good. The trailer did it no favors whatsoever.
Trailers do animated movies no favors at all. Like, they spoil all the twists. Like, Hotel Transylvania 3 had a twist, but it was spoiled in the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Van Helsing was spoiled in the trailers.
I was about to say Hotel Transylvania 3 has his twist, but that really just proves the point.
Yeah, exactly. At least they didn't spoil the Kraken song.
Yeah, the only reason why Frozen didn't spoil Hans being the villain was because it was such a badly thought out plot point anyway that it wouldn't have made sense to spoil it. Oh, but you see the foreshadowing is there. You see all those times when he acted like he was the hero, he was the bad guy.
Oh, you're right. My tiny brain was just too stupid to understand. You're absolutely correct.
The thing about the foreshadowing was that it was a little bit too subtle. Like the thing with I realized the thing with the gloves was an artistic choice, but it was a little bit too big brain for the general audience.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a fine line that you have to tread if you want to make effective foreshadowing. Because like you can't have it like, oh, that's definitely the bad guy, but you also can't have it like be so subtle that it comes out of left field.
Yeah, it's got to be more like a oh instead of an oh or a what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, twist villains were a big thing back in the day, and I think, honestly, Turbo was one of the only ones that worked because you knew all the time Turbo was a crazy asshole, King Candy's the bad guy, oh, they're one and the same, it makes sense.
Okay, so
Yeah, Turbo.
I'm so sorry, but when you said Turbo, my mind thought of the fucking weird animated
snail movie.
car
The
snail.
snail movie.
And I was like, wait, shit, there was a twist in Turbo? When did that happen?
Bold to assume anyone watched Turbo!
There was no
I
twist.
think I watched it in
Turbo. Was-
Spanish at like 3 a.m. That's the correct way to watch Turbo.
Cars, but with snails.
Okay, Okay, but now I'm just picturing you enter this liminal space. Turbo is playing, but it's only in Spanish. You go over and you get your Denny's pancakes while you watch Espanol Turbo.
The fucking Grand Slam, dude. There are actually a lot of movies that that I watched in Russian first with like really shitty overdubbing.
Excellent.
Man.
I was too young to understand the water news twist, but now that I'm older, I get it, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like the corporation thing.
Water Noose, I'd say, is a really good precursor to all the twist villains of the twist villain period.
Yeah, I just wish I was old enough to, like, understand it at first.
Right? Like...
Because, like, at first I was watching it, I was like, wait, what? He's bad? Why? But now that I get it, like, capitalist corruption of the government and everyone, that's it.
Mm-hmm. And I think, like, still to this day, they're having a hard time getting away from, oh my god, twist villain, because...
Oh my god. They're so oversaturated, right?
Right. Like, up to at least Ernesto de la Cruz.
Yeah, Ernesto de la Cruz was a really, really good example, because, like, they didn't... Oh my god. Yeah, like... It's so hard to make a good twist, like, especially when you don't trust anybody in the movie. But, like,
right?
Yeah, like, I go into a movie and I say, I don't trust this person. I do not trust this person. And, like, they're the bad guy. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, well, I totally didn't see that coming. That's not like every single movie ever did this.
Mm-hmm.
Also, hi, bro.
I'm sorry, I jumped in because we were talking about a subject that I am very passionate about, which is how shitty a lot of Disney twist villains are.
Spill that tea.
Yeah.
Spill that tea.
Give us the tea!
It's like,
Spill
okay,
that tea, bro.
listen, as somebody who spent 2 years doing, like, Frozen stuff on the internet, most of it centered around Hans, I am a fan of Hans, and I'm just like, you could literally just pull him out of the fucking film and it would be a way better movie. Like, it's not, I'm sorry, it's just, it's like, okay, here's the thing about you, like, you mentioned Water News?
Yeah.
Water News was, like, a great twist villain, because it's not like he's the greatest, but he's not, like, the worst either, and then you see him do his thing, and you're like, oh, right, kidnapping kids is wrong.
Oh, you're an unethical businessman. Oh, wow. We could have been using laughter this whole time, but you scared the entire society into doing this the way that you wanted them to do it. Haha! It's really scary when you think about it. Like, King Candy, great twist villain, because there's so much that you can, like, pick up, like, within the movie, because, like, my brother's sitting there, like, analyzing everybody the entire time while we're watching the film, and he's just like, wait a minute. And then it shows up and everything, like, makes sense. Like, that's the thing. It makes sense! It's... Yeah, like, the hacking thing was when it was when the gears were starting to turn, but, like, when it, like, the reveal of the race...
Yeah.
Like when Vanellope's, like, glitching caused the glamour on King Candy to disappear.
Yeah. Sorry. I literally came to crash the screen.
Don't apologize.
It's all good, because we can keep talking about real bad twist villains. And or ones that work.
Yeah. And or ones that work. It's like, I didn't know how to feel about De La Cruz, because it was weird. Because I was like, I kind of expected this, because we've had a twist villain in every goddamn movie for the past, like, 7 to 8 years.
I didn't expect a twist villain in Coco, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't...
Like...
Okay, that vibe was me in Zootopia, because I'm like, oh, it's gotta be a twist villain.
Motherfucking Bellwether!
Okay, I'll be honest. I actually kind of like the one in Zootopia, because...
No, I like her too, but I just wish it wasn't... Yeah.
Alright. Okay, but hear me out. Second worst twist villain ever, after Prince Hans, because Prince Hans sucks. The bad guy in Big Hero 6.
That wasn't a twist.
Callahan?
Was that supposed to be a twist? Because it wasn't.
It was supposed to be a twist! It was supposed to be a twist!
Like,
Oh,
because
well,
I
there you
watched
go.
the movie and I was just like, listen, I fucking love Big Hero 6, but like,
Yeah.
no!
Yeah, because
because
nothing that guy does in his methodology makes sense. Hey, I could get this kid's trust and then take the nanobots, or, oh hey, while he's just handing them over, I could take the nanobots. No! I'm going to set the damn place on fire in the middle of a demonstration, murder the brother and have no remorse for it, then take the nanobots, and I am a brilliant twist villain!
It's like, God, Big Hero 6 is one of my favorite movies, but Jesus Christ, don't say that.
Oh my God, Callahan. They didn't even
like, I feel for Callahan, don't get me wrong, but like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I also like that the movie acknowledges that it's kind of like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, like the motivation was fine. He's just a big walking pile of, dude, what the fuck? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That was his mistake.
Honestly speaking, that hurt me, and I was just like, fuck, this is obviously a man that has been, like, actually overtaken by pain, and of course he's saying something really stupid right now. But, like, God, like, okay, that's why Callahan is second worst to Hans, because, like, fucking Hans makes no sense no matter how much you look at it. But, like, Callahan, at the very least, I'm like, you know what, it makes some sense that you don't make sense, because your entire thing is that you don't seem to understand the gravity of what the fuck you're doing, or you do, and you're just so overtaken by you're so selfish that you just haven't realized that you're being fucking stupid.
Yeah.
God, I love villains. I love all types of villains. Give me the villains.
Give me the villains. All right, other ones on the list I think fall under the they were supposed to be a twist villain. Charles Munson Up and Lotso Huggenbear in Toy Story 3.
God, it's okay. Up, I don't remember most of Up, but as soon as you said from Up, I was like, was that a twist?
Yeah.
Does that count as a twist?
Was that a twist? Because, like, no one else would have qualified. Absolutely no one else would have qualified, and it was pretty obvious from minute one that Charles Munson was going to be the bad guy.
I mean, he had a threatening Doberman and everything. Like,
I mean, he was one of, 3 human characters who matter?
Yeah. And then Lotso Huggenbear, I think the trailers outright said Lotso was the bad guy.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there was,
they
ominous music and his eyes narrowing or some shit.
Yep, there was that's one where the trailer messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good... Toy Story 3 would have been a good twist if they didn't spoil it in the trailers.
Yeah. Disney still seems to think it's a twist because they sell a shit ton of Lotso Huggenbear merchandise.
Hey,
he's just marketable. He's a fluffy teddy bear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's perfect for any kid who hasn't watched Toy Story 3.
Yeah. Now here's a twist that I think was really done well. Like the twist in Toy Story 4, which is more of a subversion of the twist villain trope, in that the villain's not actually a villain. What's her face? The doll.
Gabby. I was thinking
Gabby.
I
was about to call her Chatty Cathy.
Chatty Cathy.
Because she is Chatty Cathy.
Yeah.
It's Chatty Cathy.
I was also about to call her Talkie Tina, but that's Twilight Zone.
That's Twilight
Zone. But yeah, like the thing I like about Gabby is that, like, she's, like, the trailer set her up to be really sus, like, it's really suspicious and everything. I feel like this is where they learned how to cut a trailer so that you're not expecting a twist. Because, like, it all seems pretty clear-cut. Oh, this is the creepy doll person. She has ventriloquist doll minions. This is obviously a bad person. But she's not. She's just scared that she will be alone forever.
Yeah, they also kind of play on the fact that she's a little creepy, as in it's just like, of course she's been rejected by all these little girls. She's a little creepy doll from the 40s.
she's a doll from the 40s, her voice box is broken.
Exactly, like everything about her, like, it's just like, quote unquote, unlovable, so of course it's just... So then when they come back and go like, hey now, maybe you should... Like, this is coming from somebody who didn't get, like, a huge reaction from Toy Story 4. It wasn't, like, a bad movie, but I didn't come out of it as strongly as I did with 3.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's just, 3 was just such a good ending to a trilogy. It's kind of like, I mean, 4's alright, but...
4's alright, it's just like, do you guys really have to stretch this out this long? But, like, it had a good story for what it was.
Yeah. Woody abandoning everyone.
Honestly, the thing I remember the most about Toy Story 4 is how much the animators were fucking flexing with the environmental effects, because holy shit.
It looked
damn!
good.
Yeah.
Especially water.
Yeah. Sorry, gang, Woody's gonna leave. Why? Looks over at Bo Peep. Woody's got Woody.
Oh my god. Oh Christ. Yeah, but the way that Gabby was handled was done really well. Like especially in terms of like Woody's self-sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Woody's sort of becoming like what the concept of playtime and children and like toys for children was all about. Like just making sure that children have that opportunity to be able to play and have fun.
Oh, you know what? Who I just realized is kind of a twist villain that I think works, but it isn't the core of the story. Dr. Octopus, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
She's a twist villain, but she comes in like near the middle, and I love her.
Yeah.
I feel like
Doc
it's
Ock
more
was
just for
amazing.
identity.
I did not expect her come. I'm so glad I didn't get spoiled in Spider-Verse.
What is-
Oh my god.
Does it really count as a twist villain if it's
Actually,
just
no,
the
it's not
identity?
really a twist. It's like it's not a twist because she didn't hang around long enough for you to actually have like a.
I didn't.
The plot of the movie doesn't hinge on it, but I feel as if it's still a much better handling of here is a plot twist, this character was a villain, than Prince Hans.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it better?
I didn't expect the nice lady in the college in the high school presentation to be a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Usually you expect those people to be like innocuous background characters, but no, Dr. Olivia Octavius was a secondary antagonist.
Yeah. Surprise! Bill Nye the Science Guy is trying to kill you.
The real Bill Nye the Science Guy is not trying to kill you, however. He's trying to save us from all the planet from burning down.
How do you know?
How do we know Bill Nye doesn't have some sort of secret plan to destroy everything?
That secret plan better.
God. I wonder, villains who become heroes and heroes who become villains. Thoughts? And I'm not counting twist villains because they were supposed to be evil all along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts?
I dig it.
Yeah.
I
like the concept. People have a hard time pulling it off.
Yeah.
Megamind kind of did it with Titan.
Yeah. But like the first
He was
one.
just such an.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say he was such a fucking incel though that.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was an incel. Like he was like a nice guy, quote unquote nice guy, and then he like got a little bit too the Metro Man power went to his head, and then like yeah. But you were saying, Alex?
See, unfortunately, the first one I thought of when I thought heroes had became bad guys is The Secret of Nim 2.
I did not see The Secret of Nim or The Secret of Nim 2.
Good that you did not see The Secret of Nim 2. Because, like the son of, I think, the main character in Secret of Nim 2 turns into a bad guy, voiced by Eric Idle, but then he becomes a good guy again and is no longer voiced by Eric Idle, which is proof that Eric Idle makes you evil.
Eric Idle makes him evil.
I'm trying to think of like times this has been used because I know it's a thing. It's just that like I can't think of anything outstandingly good or outstandingly bad.
Tron Legacy?
Did not watch Tron Legacy.
The only thing I remember about Tron Legacy is the music, because let's be honest.
I remember the visuals and music, but wasn't it like Clue 2?
Jeff Bridges made a program in Jeff Bridges' image, but computer Jeff Bridges turned into computer Hitler, and he made Tron from the first movie evil.
Yep. They reprogrammed him into Reznor or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Into Reznor from Super Mario World.
Reznor from Super Mario World.
Dude, he's my favorite artist.
You know what? Somebody brought up Prowler, and Prowler
Prowler
just in general is Spider-Verse in general was really good about how it dealt with characters.
Yeah.
Just in
Like-
general, it was really good, but
Before the prowler reveal, I was like, no, it can't be. And then and then he revealed his face. And I was like, no,
it was like,
no, Miles, no.
And then he died.
And then he
And
died.
then he died.
No, see, it's unfortunate for me because I think that's part of Miles' basic origin story is that his uncle's the Prowler. So I came into the movie knowing his uncle was the Prowler.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't read comics.
It's all good. I mean, to be fair,
so many
I don't
comics.
either. I'm just really good at pop cultural osmosis.
Yeah, I a lot of what I read from the Marvel Wiki, I knew who Miles was, first of all, but I didn't know very much else. So I did
also
not
didn't-
see Prowler coming.
I also didn't know how much they were going to pull from, like, the little bit that I knew from the comics. I didn't know how much they were going to pull. So it's kind of like things.
Oh, Rensler, that was his name. Not a Reznor from Super
Not
Mario.
Reznor from Super Mario. I mean, if you forget the name of the bad guy Tron was disguised as Tron Legacy, I don't think anyone's going to give you shit.
Yeah.
Tom Holland was the villain all along.
Surprise! It was Tom!
I thought you were talking about our Tom for a second. I know you were. Ah, yes, I can't believe Tom is the actual big bad of IR.
Internet remix. So that's the best twist villain, it's Tom!
It's Tom. He's actually Daniel
Tom would
Smith
be
from
the best
Discord
twist
Murder Party
villain
Tale.
Tom would actually make, like, if anybody had to be a twist villain from IR, it would be Tom, because he's just so trusted. But he has so much power. The duality of Tom.
The duality of Tom. This coloring is looking really nice, by the way.
It really is.
Yeah, it's looking real cool. Then he reveals his true evil, the ability to do taxes.
Oh god, the humanity!
Oh no, taxes.
I can go
I've been
to
doing
death!
this whole time.
Tom is actually TurboTax.
Hey, I use TurboTax.
I also use TurboTax.
Listen, just... I don't want to
It's
fuck
so
with that,
easy.
man.
So good. People
I
should
use
use TurboTax. Sponsor us, TurboTax.
No, screw you, TurboTax. You're trying to kill the government's ability to do taxes easily.
God.
Mhm.
I just I use Tax Act, and it's just like, oh yeah, just literally just grab the paper, we will explain to you what each number does, and then put it in the thing, and we will show you how it changes the things. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I don't have to pay somebody to do my taxes.
Honestly, it's so worth it if you do, like, freelance shit, or if you have, like, weird stuff, like living in 2 different states or some nonsense like
Yeah. Yes, we go from twist Disney villains to taxes. This is true adulthood.
Mhm. So TurboTax.
being an adult sucks.
Welcome to our streams. We talk about Disney twist villains. We make jokes about Snittler. Seems like some quality content, right? Why don't you hand over some of that delicious TurboTax money, and we can talk to our audience, many of whom I'm assuming do not pay taxes.
Yo.
You know what? Actually, a decent chunk of our audience older than me, so...
Wow, a surprising
Probably
number of
pay
our
taxes.
audience will, in fact, have to pay taxes.
Pet suckers.
So, see, TurboTax, that's why TurboTax should sponsor us.
TurboTax, you should sponsor us. Okay, for a second, before we go off, one of you said Juno, you said Snittler during, like, break, and I had not heard what that was, and I was like, Snake Hitler? But I didn't want to ask
Yes.
you.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Turned out
bro.
to be, no, and then it turned out to actually be Snake Hitler, and I was like, what? I was like, surely there is no Snake Hitler.
And yet you are wrong.
Turns out there was a Snake Hitler.
Yeah. If IR turns evil, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh my god. What's up, Yoshi?
Raid Shadow Legends actually did send me 2 different emails from 2 separate sources saying, hey, we want to sponsor you. And they specified it has to be in the middle of the video, close to the beginning, not right during the intro. And I said, have you seen my videos? I put lyrics to video game music. You know, I've been thinking about you and me. Was this preordained? Was this meant to be? Somewhere deep down, I knew you should play Raid Shadow Legends. Look at this pre-approved script they're having me read. My favorite legend is Elf, because boots. Yeah. Yeah, Raid Shadow Legends has a bunch of stipulations that basically say, yes, they all have to sound exactly like that.
You want to know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for a lot of the short, like, animators, like, well, the ones who are short and also the ones who make short videos, who make animations that are about 30 seconds long, but they get, like, sponsorships from Amino or something, and
Yeah.
the Amino ad is, like, a minute and a half.
Yeah.
I don't even want to watch the video anymore. I'm so sorry. I want to support you, but I can't do this. And it's I just feel bad because a lot of the comments, the top comment will be, the video starts here.
Mm-hmm.
Please add people. Know who you are asking for ads. Change the. God.
Yeah. Hello, I am Diane from App Nana. I love your videos and watch it all the time.
So I sent them this version of the app.
App Nana. Once upon a time, I actually did respond to App Nana saying, hi, this is my price. It's this amount of dollars. They eventually responded in typical chain letter response, our budget for you is $100. Now keep in mind, that was a tiny fraction of what I asked for, and a tiny fraction of what they pay other people to advertise 10-minute fucking videos for App Nana. I said, and while they sent that, I got another email saying, hello, this is Diane from App Nana. I love your videos, and I watch it all the time.
And I watch it all the time.
So let this be a lesson to all you aspiring YouTubers. Know who is wanting to advertise on your channel, because most of them suck.
Yeah.
And with that public service announcement, I think we've done some really good progress. We got 4 basic cities all drawn out and stuff.
I can't believe we got to Snittler.
We got to Snailer!
Oh, whoops! I was really fucking zoomed in and I didn't see like.
Oh, fuck. I didn't want to say anything!
I didn't want to say anything.
You should have said something. Fuck. Yeah, hold on. I'll slap something on there. This is mostly jungle. It's fine. Shh.
You were so into it, Lo!
Like, I didn't want to stop you.
Christ.
Great, now Megalovania stuff.
You're welcome.
Work my usual kid, you know.
Well, now that version of Megalovania stuff.
Yeah. I've got my Gaster Blaster gun. I'll tell you before we have our fun. Hey, what's that bit ya? It's actually me, Sniggler! Are you okay?
Yeah. I think that's the verbal equivalent of key smashing.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, out of all the Megalovanias I've done, I'm still the proudest of Knuckles Megalovania because even with versus Ridley, I don't think I've ever gone that fucking hard on singing before.
Yeah. I'm proudest of Luigi Lavania because that Luigi chorus is just.
Luigi course is delicious.
Seriously, taking Peanut Butter Gamer's lyrics is very fun.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Megalovania I've done is Nanolovania because I have yet to actually do any of the ones that I wanted to do.
Heck.
Heck. The good news is Megalovania will never die. Therefore,
Megalovania will never die. People will continue to ask both of us for Megalovania until the end of time. And then they're gonna tell me it's wrong because it doesn't have real Sans Megalovania. And I'm not salty, you're salty!
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I fixed it.
Okay.
Sorry
Awesome.
about that.
It's all good. Yeah, I want Megalovania. Does Megalovania? This isn't what I wanted.
We have Megalovania at home.
We have 11 Megalovanias at home.
11 whole Megalovanias.
Okay.
All right. This looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks great.
great.
Gonna save this and then plop it up on the thingy. And then. Hey, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Oh,
you're just-
also,
Hi,
Hey guys,
Hi, Scott. You're just in time for the end of the stream.
yay!
I was hoping you. Okay, I didn't know if you guys were still going or not, so I kept silent.
Oof.
Well,
Well, on that note, thank you all for joining us for this Let's Make a Campaign setting and draw some freaking cities. It's been fun, guys. We will see you on some other stream soon. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!